Hello, friends, and welcome to today's episode. Paul Servant had always wanted a family of his own for as long as he could remember. So when he met Barbara Bienvenue, he knew she was his match. He couldn't wait to start a life with her, which meant having kids. When Bienvenue told Servant she was having 5 babies, Servant couldn't have been happier. But during her 9-month pregnancy, strange things started to happen. Then, on the day of the birth, she said something that no one could have expected, making Servant wish he had never met her. Paul Servant lived and worked in Montreal, Canada, and even though he was surrounded by loved friends and family, something was missing. He was in his mid-30s, worked 6 days a week, and didn't have a partner. When he looked at his family and friends, he realized he wanted to spend the rest of his life with someone. He longed for his own family. Servant knew he wanted a lot more than what he had, so he decided it was time to change his way of life. Servant saw that many of his friends and family members were happy and married, and he wanted the same for himself. He was finally at a point in his life where he was ready to take the first step. He had a steady job that took up a lot of his time, but he was fit and ready to find someone to settle down with. Now the hard part started. Servant had to leave his comfort zone in order to find his other half. Technology has made it easier for people to meet other single people in their area. You can sign up for different smartphone apps based on your preferences and your partner. Since Servant's job was pretty hard and kept him busy most of the week, he should use a dating app. So he made an account, thinking that this would help him find his perfect match. After making an account for online dating, it took him a while to start talking to someone. After a while of looking, he became interested in a woman named Barbara Bienvenue. As soon as they started talking, Servant liked being around her. Servant liked how she made him feel and how easy it was for him to make her laugh. Servant might have been able to find the person he was looking for. He was sure he did. Both Servant and Bienvenue thought they had a special link, or at least as much of a link as two people in their 30s can have over the internet. So, after talking online for a while, they decided to meet up in Montreal. Hopefully, Bienvenue was who she said she was and it wasn't a trick to get money. The only way to find out was to ask. Servant was going to go into the meeting without any preconceived ideas. Bienvenue was who she said she was, and when Servant saw her for the first time in Montreal, he knew that their relationship was special. The two hit it off right away and dated constantly over the next few weeks. It was clear that their relationship was becoming more than just a long-distance internet romance. Even though they had only known each other for a short time, Servant fell in love with her and began to trust her. He quickly figured out why people don't trust strangers. After meeting for 2 months, Bienvenue told Servant that they needed to talk about something important. The other person usually gets into trouble when they hear that phrase. When Servant thought about this, he felt lost. He thought things were going well between them, so what could be wrong? Servant didn't think there were any problems between them, even though they were still deciding if the other was the one. What could Bienvenue want to talk about in a serious way? Bienvenue dropped a bomb on him as she walked toward him with a big smile on her face. She was with child. This was not the news Servant thought his new girlfriend would tell him. Servant was frozen, and it took him a few seconds to figure out what she had just told him. They would become parents. He was about to become a dad. They planned to have kids together. He then gave a smile of his own. A few months ago, Servant used to think about meeting the person he would spend the rest of his life with, having kids, and starting a family. Now, he could see his dream coming true right in front of him. He was so happy, you'd think he'd just won the lottery. He wasn't the only one who was happy to hear the news. Servant's friends and family were happy because they knew how important the event was to him. So they threw a party for the happy pair and started counting the days until the baby was born. Like a lot of pregnant women in their first trimester, Bienvenue had a hard time getting used to all the changes in her body. She was gaining weight, going through mood swings, and feeling very sick in the morning. Servant was worried about her and the baby because he was a first-time dad himself. So he told her she had to move in with him. So, while he was at work, his family could help take care of her. She said yes, and soon they were living together. As the months went by, Bienvenue's stomach kept growing. So big, in fact, that the couple started to think there might be more than one baby inside. They went to the doctor instead of playing a betting game. There, Bienvenue found out that she was having twins. It was hard for Servant to believe. He was happy about having one child, but he thought that having two would be even better. He had no idea that they were about to find out more. As Bienvenue kept going to the doctor, she kept getting more shocking news. The mother and her kids were all healthy, but it looked like there was going to be another one. It turned out that Bienvenue was carrying 3 babies. But it didn't end there. During Bienvenue's last MRI, the couple found out that they needed to buy a few more baby items because they were about to have quintuplets. Servant and Bienvenue were more than excited about the idea of That's It for Today, friends. Please let us know what you think about this story. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon for more amazing stories.